Welcome back, everybody. My name's A Prater54, aka Adam, coach of the McChesney Park Slowpokes. I am the owner of SDA, and this is the PRs for Latios Division, the upload required. Just a few things going forward. We're going to do this based off of bulk, hazards, momentum, removal, and speed tiers, and give a total at the end. I will not disclose the totals. I'm actually going to do it based off of points this wise and judgment instead of doing letter grades. Uh, I was going to ask Godbear to help with this, but he is one of the coaches, so I'm just going to do this one separately for everybody else. But this season we have 16 coaches. They had 110 points for 10 Pokemon and 20 points for 2 Open Terra Preview captains. So, without further ado, coach number 1 is Clevin. They made a very, very interesting rain team. Oh, and Parting Shot and Teleport are broken on these draft slides, so ignore that. We're just going to roll with the punches, but everything else is fine. They have 2 removal. They have Baton Pass in Keldeo and Flip Turn. I believe those are correct. But boy, do they have hazards galore on this team. The only thing it's missing is Sticky Webs. It would have been nice to have a defog option, but beggars can't be choosers, especially with how limited it is this gen. Oh, one thing real quick. I'm just going to do this until it is done. Well, it doesn't matter if you guys see the schedules. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Because you don't know the rest of the teams. They just know who they're playing. I also don't care if you guys see who's playing who. Because, oh well. But they have Palafin, Archaludon, Terra Captain Keldeo, Pelipper. They have Overquill, Raikou, Toadsquirrel, Klefki, which is phenomenal weather control, and Spike setting with Prankster, and Fortress for removal, and Terra Captain Ditto. I am curious on what the Terra Captain Ditto is going to do. They have decent speed tiers. They don't have anything faster than the 115 outside of Overquill, so that's a little bit of a hindrance, but it's still a rather good team. Granted, your speed control is also a Klefki. To hit you with T-Wave, if they're not a dark type, you cripple. So all in all, that is phenomenally good. They are incredibly bulky with between Archaludon, Fortress, Overquill, Pelipper's tanky. Raikou can be tanky after a Calm Mind. Even Palafin is tanky. Just to clarify, the categories are going to be 1 to 5 points, depending on the 5 that we judge off of, so that will be at the end. So the highest you can get is 25. Just to clarify for people going forward, because I know that question is going to be asked at some point. But their speed tiers are perfect. The only issue I have with the team is you have a big jump between 85 to 100. You can have a soft spot with a 90 just overwhelming the rest of that division. That and the if you lose rain, it's a double-edged sword. It's going to be interesting. Let's see what they got for momentum. Hazards is gonna be, yeah. We got good there. Removal is 2 rapid spinners leaves you prone to Terra Ghost or just a ghost type stopping you from removing the hazard, so that can be a little bit of a hindrance. So if I don't, I'm going to be biased. If I only see rapid spin and no defog, it's going to be a partial deduction in removal. You're not going to maximize your points because defog's only stopped by Goldango or a mon sacrificing itself in the field. Like say something dies and you click defog, it fails. Okay. But speed tiers, you got decent. We're going to do that there. Momentum, we've got U-turn, volt switch, baton pass, and flip turn, all phenomenal. Pretty decent as there as well. Yeah, I'll give that one a pretty decent score as well. Clevin, you did very well with this team, and I am curious on what this is going to do. But we are going to hop on into team number 2. Oh. That's what I'm gonna, instead of bulk, I'm gonna do priority. We've got Vacuum Wave and Keldeo. We have Aquajet and the Overquill. We have the Clefty itself. We have Ditto Copy and everything else. And we have Palfin. Yeah, that's decent. That's a decent fair amount. So I'm going to do Prio instead of bulk. I changed my mind because all these teams can be bulky just off of typing alone. So priority actually matters this gen. So we are going to do it off of that. If we were doing a sword and shield, bulk would be the main thing. But next we are going to go into Sorrow. The Urshifus are kind of bugged on our dock. They don't have sprites. I don't know why. But he has Urshifu single strike. You can see it over here in the corner. You can probably see my mouse. And I'm just going to move this off to the side so people can see it. Terra Captain Skeledirge is absolutely amazing. That, and look at this. If on paper, this is a snow team. Because you have Beartic, you have Lonely Ninetail, and you have Chili Reception, Slowking. Amazing. And you have regen on this team option between Slowking and Amoonguss, so that is incredibly fat. There are some teams that are going to have low hazards but be phenomenal and excel. This is one of them. Snow does not need hazards. All they need is rocks. And he has webs. That's all he needs. Snow also, well, you got one of the best spinners in the game in Donphan. It's your only spinner, so at least you're going to get some points for that. But what this team is also lacking in is momentum options. It would have been nice to see a flip turn user, but I guess Slowking balances out with Chili Reception. You have 2 Baton Passers. You have Volt Switch. It's a shame that Vikavolt doesn't get U-turn. Like, why? You think it would. It's a bug. But it doesn't get that. Like, Sorrow, I'm gonna say this now. Your points don't mean shit with this team. It's just, we're going off of the amount of what you have, which is partial deduction. Take it with a grain of salt. This is a phenomenal team, even if it is ranked low. It's because of how it's designed, not because of the coach itself. You are going to perform phenomenally with this. The speed tiers are definitely interesting. I don't know how I feel about the 109.90 drop to 66. So speed, he can run a Trick Room mode with this, and he can run a Snow mode over the top of it. Like I said, Sorrow excels with these teams. So this is an example of why I wanted to do evaluations this time and not points. Because valuation-wise, this ranks high. Point-wise, this ranks low. But we're going to change it up this season. Hazards, unfortunately, is... I'm going to give it a benefit of a doubt. Like, even though it's only 2, normally you'd give like a 1 with this, but sticky webs are massive this gen. So I'm going to give that a benefit of a doubt. Priority, we have Ice Shard, Aqua Jets. We have Sucker Punch. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, like I said before, Parting Shot is bugged. It's not supposed to be there. But all in all, this team's going to be functional, and Sorrow's going to be able to do this. I hate to say it, but it kind of got incredibly low. Like, you may be low in points, low at the bottom, but coach performance is going to excel this team. Oh, that was a rough grade, and I hate I have to like be strict with it. I'm not a fan. I'm definitely not a fan, but this one is low, unfortunately, with the criteria. But again, PRs don't mean shit. But I love this team. I would use this. Granted, I'm a sociopath, but I would use this. Not saying Sorrow is, but he likes these teams. Next, we have Lewis. Sweet Jesus. Okay, Garchomp went undrafted. You know what he did? Hold on, that does not seem right. Did something not get changed? Transactions. Oh, no, it's right. I could have sworn like one of the mons was different, but it is what it is. We're back here. So, Garchomp went undrafted. This man said YOLO and dropped Heatran, Ursaluna, Florges, Thundurus, Incarnate. Well, he had Therian, I believe. And Persian for Garchomp, Weavile, Empoleon, Whimsicott, and Smeargle. He gained every hazard with Smeargle, even though it's not listed here. It gets Rock Spikes, T-Spikes, Sticky Web, it gets Defog, it gets anything it can learn that is not like a signature move. So, Smeargle is the jack of all trades, and that is just ridiculous. This is another one I'm probably going to give a 5 to for hazards, because, like I said, Smeargle gets Sticky Webs. Smeargle also gets every momentum, and I believe it can learn Parting Shot and Teleport. So this is another incredibly high team. This might be one of the higher ranked teams. I will say this now. Look at these speed tiers. 142, 125, 116, 110. Then drops. There's a gap between the 95 and the 75, and the 75 and the 60, and then the 60 to 38. But that does not matter, because unless they face Trick Room, this does not matter. And another thing to factor, you have 1, 2, 3 Taunters. You have Will-O-Wisp, you have Prankster, Stunspore, you have Thunderwave, you have Knockoff on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Mons, 6 if you count Whimsicott, which is absolutely disgusting. You have Prankster Whimsicott, you have Ice Shard, you have Aqua Jet on Empoleon, you have Sucker Punch on Dragapult. That is a decent amount of priority as well, and Smeargle can learn everything else. But that makes it worse is people have to deal with Rough Skin Garchomp on top of a Terra Water Ogerpon. Yeah, that's a lot. Granted, it loses its Water Absorb, but it trades for Spadef, and now it's Ivy Cudgel Water that's practically unresisted this meta because water hits hard. That, and with the amount of things weak to ice, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resists to ice. Nothing is touching Garchomp. And then water resists. You have Literally. Water Absorb. Immunity. You have Whimsicott. You have a ×4 resistant Empoleon. You have a resistant Dragapult. You have a resistant Tentacruel. The bulk on this team is insane. The removal is Rapid Spin and Defog, so this one is going to be high as well. Speed tiers is going to be high as well. Priority is going to be high as well. Because just the amassed amount of stuff this team can do is absolutely amazing. So far, this is by far the strongest team. So, Lewis, you are up there. You are way up there. Next, we are going to hop on into Zach, who, for some reason, does not want to load. Alright, Zach, is your page broken? There it goes. Ignore the parting shot. Where are we going to start with this? So we have Spectre, Tinglu, Quackable, Latios, Sairlets. Sorry, the amount of growths caught up to me because now it's Tinkaton, Terra Iron Thorns, Rotomo, Salazzle, and Little Dunny. Holy fuck, this is fat. You don't understand. This is fat, this is balance, and this is a Spectre chilling in the back. And it is double Ghost. Good luck Rapid Spinning. Good luck dealing with Tinglu. Look at the Stealth Rock setters. There's 4 of them. There's 2 Spike setters. And there's a Toxic Spike setter. You have Will-O-Wisp. You have T-Wave. You have T-Wave. You have T-Wave. Will-O-Wisp again. Will-O-Wisp. Toxic Spikes. Toxic. Glare. Thunderwave. Thunderwave again on Latios. The amount of status cripple on this team is ridiculous. The speed tiers are ridiculous. I think this one, if it wasn't for the Dragapult on the other team, this one is probably better speed-wise. Because you got 130, 117, 110. Hits the perfect almost increments. Goes all the way down. The only issue is the 72 to 45 drop-off, but that doesn't matter at all because you still got to deal with all of this. All the hard-hitting stuff is fast. All the bulky stuff is slow. And then the in-between just doesn't care. Granted, this only has Rapid Spin as removal. That is kind of bad. Unfortunately, I have to do the same thing I did with just the Donphan, and I have to at least give you points for having a good Rapid Spinner. So, if this was a crappy one, like, say, Sandslash removal, because it's so slow, you'd be a 1. Having a good removal option in Rapid Spin gets you a 2. But if it's just that, it's not going to be anything. Momentum, we have U-Turn, Double Volt Switch, Baton Pass, and Flip Turn. Not bad at all. Hazard, Hazards is also high. And priority, let's see, we have Shadow Sneak. We have Aqua Jets. That's about it. Unless I'm stupid. Does it get anything else? No. The team's incredibly lacking in priority, unless I'm stupid and I can't remember. Next, we have Nico. It may take a second for it to load because it's been open for a while. Let me close this other tab so it doesn't struggle. There we go. Parting shots bugged on this one again. But first, let's look at the team. We have Meowscarada, we have Speed Boost Blaziken, we have Cyclizar, Sylveon, Terra Captain Reuniclus, which is a regen core with Cyclizar. Zapdos, which can just be a menace to society and punish things trying to punch Reuniclus. Terra Captain Reverum, Melodic, Rhyperior, and Haunter. He actually had a few points left over, so that was definitely surprising, but he wanted a ground immunity. The only issue with this is Haunter does not remove T-Spikes because it's levitated, so that is an issue. It forces Cyclizar to run Boots to be able to rapid spin off, and it looks like that is your only removal, but it's still decent removal. But the amount of T-Spikers on this game, and Spikes and Stealth Rocks, that's also very decent. Momentum. Quad U-turn, Volt Switch, triple Baton Pass, and Flip Turn. That's very decent momentum as well. But the speed tiers is what is going to make or break this team. Well, if you can break the bulk. 123, 121. I thought Cyclizar is 126. I thought Cyclizar is faster than... I think that's wrong. That might be wrong. Because I could have sworn Cyclizar is faster. Either way, I don't care. I trust the doc. So we got 195, 90, 80, 81. We have 60, 40, and 30. This can fluctuate as a Trick Room team. He has option of speed with Blaziken, so it has an additional variant of speed. That is also very good. But what do we have for priority? We have Vacuum Wave Blaziken. We have Quick Attack Sylveon. We have Sucker Punch on Meowscarada, and I believe that is about it. That is not the best in the world, but the bulk's going to maintain this. The only time they should really be relying on priority is if they're outsped, so it's not going to matter anyways. All in all, decent team. But then again, there are no bad teams in this. Do not take your points at the end as a harsh judgment. Like, I know how these coaches perform, so these points really do not matter. Nico's going to have a lot of fun with this team. But we are going to hop into IMDS, and you thought thought Lewis's team was cringe. Holy, look at these. First off, Great Tusk. We have Greninja, Terra Captain, Iron Moth. That is an open Terra Iron Moth, folks. He made this transaction in Grace and then decided to do Dartrix for fun. But we have Rotom Wash, Screamtail, Dragonite, Ursaring, Heatran, Dartrix, and the Swadoon. He got 1 point webs. Alright. So, we got the speed tiers, 122, 111, 110, 87, 86. Damn near perfect. But there are going to be very few that I label as a 5, and some are going to be 4. So, it takes a lot. If this had something well past the 122 mark, like if this team had Dragapult, 5. Easy. But this is not as strong as what the previous team was because they had the option to speed boost. This is the option of Battle Bond boosting up and booster speed Tusk. But all in all, it is a pretty good team. Let's look at the hazard breakdown. We have 3 Rockers, Spikes, 2 T-Spikes. Oh my. Oh my. Where did I put the hazards? This might be another one I give a 5 in hazards because it has everything option-wise. It has 2 in removal. Great Tusk is phenomenal. Dartrick is iffy, so we're going to go middle ground on that. Momentum wise, it's a fair amount. The team is just lacking in flip turn, and teleport and parting shot are broken on this. But all in all, it's still pretty decent. A lot of these teams, as long as they have over 5 forms of momentum, I've been giving a decent score to. So the trend continues. And priority, we have Water Shuriken. We have Extreme Speed. That's it. But because it's Extreme Speed and Water Shuriken, Extreme Speed I'm going to give a slight advantage to, but it's still going to be the same power level as the previous teams. And next, we got King. This is Emmanuel Lionheart. If his team will load. Come on. You got this. Thank you. This is a rather interesting team. The fact he was able to get Valiant, Lando, and Corviknight on the same team is just beautiful. Then he has tanks in Corviknight and Clodsire and Arboliva cutting down the ground damage. But this is going to be interesting. He has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 things off the ground. And an Arboliva. He made sure damn well that nothing is going to harm that Electrode. But Open Terra Electrode is pretty good. It's 150 speed. It basically can just do what Hisuian Electrode can do, -1 stab. But all in all, it's still pretty good. 150 speed, 116 can be booster speed up. You got 105, 104, 98, 91, 67. The only thing I can criticize here is this huge gap between 91 and 67. But that isn't horrible if you can factor in how bulky the team is, the reliable switch-ins, and all of that. But still, it is not way up there. Electro kind of makes up for it. But we have, what do we have for priority? We have Aquajet, Purina, Shadow Sneak, Vacuum Wave, Iron Valiant. That's about it. Priority, but then again, priority is going to be a low for a lot of these teams because in this meta, not everybody goes for heavy priority. They'd rather hit than ask questions later. But all in all, this team's not bad. Corviknight does not get teleport. We've got triple U-turn. We have Volt Switch. We got flip turn. I could have sworn one of these mons gets baton pass, but it is what it is. Momentum wise, we're gonna give this one that. Removal is default Corviknight. Even then, because it is a reliable defogger, even though it can be taunt prone, there's ways around that. I will give that one a decent score. And hazards, we got 3 rocker spikes, T spikes, no sticky webs. We're gonna give that. Not bad team. A lot of these teams, I can say this right now, are going to be over 10 at least. It's just a grading scale. Like, this is a very good team. A lot of these are very good. Who are we on next? Josh. Hi, Josh. You just had to have Urshifu Rapid Strike again, didn't you? Yeah. Where to start? Oh, he has Cinderace. Court Change is not listed on here, so he has triple removal. So that is actually pretty good. He's got defog, rapid spin, and court change, but he is kind of lacking in hazards. This is one of the probably lower end teams hazard wise. Speed tiers, we got 119, 110, 95. We've got 85, 85, 75 in Raging Bolt, 68, 65, 50. These speed tiers, like, there's hidden potential in these. So this one is hard to grade. I want to be fair and I want to be biased. I'm in between a 3 and a 4, but I don't want to do 0.5s. For this one, yeah, we're gonna go with that. We have priority in Thunderclap. We've got Bullet Punch. We've got Sucker Punch in Cinderace. We got Sucker Punch in Gengar. We have Aqua Jet in Urshifu Rapid. We have this Menace right here, Mr. Gemstone, that gets Prankster priority moves. That is also very good. So this is going to be another high one priority wise. And let's see what they have for the momentum. We have U-turn, Volt Switch, Triple Baton Pass, and these are broken. Pretty decent momentum wise. We're gonna give that. We give that one actually ranked lower than I thought it would. Oh, okay. I guess it did play a big factor on not having the hazards. But we are going to hop on into Twisted. We are on coach number 9. We are halfway there. So this is a rather interesting team. This is all or nothing Gambit. Because they have Bundle. They stole this from Mr. TJP. But it's actually a pretty interesting team. If you think about it, they has, look at these speed tiers: 136, 111, 110, 90, 85, 84, 70, 55, 50, 50. That is pretty good speed wise. But there are some hidden gems. You have Tailwind Latios, you have Prankster Rain Dance, setting up Quillfish with Swift Swim, and having Azu pop off with Rain Boosted Aqua Jet. You have the option of setting Sunny Day and giving free booster to this Brute Bonnet. You can also set Rain Dance to have boosted Hydro Pumps. Sunny Day for boosted Flare Blitz because you do not get the damage, recoil from Rockhead. All in all, not bad. Not bad at all. Priority wise, Sucker Punch in Brute Bonnet, Extreme Speed in Arcanine, Aqua Jet. You get Aqua Jets, Prankster, and all of this. I don't know why that picked up, but priority, we are going to give that this. Hazards. Hazards are a little low, but biased, at least they have 2 and 1. Would have liked to see another third Stealth Rock option that isn't weak to water or weak or neutral to grass, so that way you can set up freer. But it happens. Momentum wise, we have U-turn, Volt Switch, Baton Pass, Double Baton Pass, Flip Turn. Unfortunately, Latias does not get Flip Turn like Latios. And I believe, I can't remember, did Latios go undrafted? I cannot remember. But momentum wise, that is decent. Removal is where it has issues on this team, because Though Hitmontop is good, you leave yourself susceptible to any ghost type that is faster than you. But your way to answer those is Thief. That is not exactly the best reliable. So we are going to do that. And next, we get into Godbear. I'm trying to make this not be an hour, so I'm speeding up a little bit, but I am kind of restrained by how fast the dock loads. There we go. Godbear made an interesting grace trade. He dropped, let me see, Mamoswine and Apom for Excadrill and Hippopotas. This gave him an extra speed layer on this team. You have a regen core crossed with sand, crossed with free spikes from Ceaseless Edge. You have a Trick Room mode. You have a Tailwind mode. This team, you have double Tailwind. Yeah, that is kind of gross. Is it worthy of a 5 though? Because you can go both ways, or is this going to be a 4? I gotta do that. I gotta be biased. Removal wise is just Excadrill. That is a phenomenal spinner. Most ghost types do not want to switch into Excadrill because they get absolutely just nuked unless they are a fighting type. Which, FYI, he has Annihilate. That is the ghost fighting type that was the best check to Excadrill. So, yeah. So you have to be a little more biased with that. So I'm going to adjust that based off of that. Momentum is triple U-turn, Volt Switch, Baton Pass, and Flip Turn. That's good, but it could be a little better because you can get blocked by Water Absorb. You can get punished by ground types with Volt Switch. So U-turn is really your most viable pass, which leaves you prone to things like static. Go there. Speed tiers. I did that one already. But between this Hydrapple and this Farigiraf being Open Terra is just ridiculous. Hydrapple just puts in so much work, and now you got to deal with an Annihilate behind everything. Just running a Choice Scarf and cleaning up. You got to deal with Excadrill that doesn't really need sand, but has the option. But the worst, scariest thing about this is now you got free spikes, a Trick Room for Farigiraf, setting that up for free, blocking priority, which is another layer to the speed, which is why I ranked this one a 5, because it can stop priority if Trick Room goes up, meaning it can maintain a lot of stuff. But we also have Glastrier. This is a monster in Trick Room. If you set Trick Room Baton Pass out and say you bait a fighting type move and Glastrier tanks in its weakness policy, in free Trick Room, you are now giving them 3 mons and telling them rent is due, motherfucker, pay up. All in all, that is interesting. Granted, they need spikes, and not having spikes and T-spikes kind of hurts them a little bit. But they do have webs. But in forms of priority, we have Aqua Jets. That it? Quick Attack. That's it. That's it. That is definitely interesting. But They got a rough week one. They got to face off against one of the strongest ranked team right now in Lewis. But good luck. Next, we have Palms. Who, let's see, what did Palms do? He dropped Tostricity, Mandibuck, Terrakion, and Brambleghast for Jolteon, Galloweezing, Decidueye, and Mienshao. So he made a complex regen core that is hard to break. And he also said, you're not allowed to have abilities. He added webs mid-draft and changed his Terra Captain to Jolteon, which is phenomenal for this team. Granted, this is a gouging fire without sun, but that's still a gouging fire without checks. So this can definitely be interesting. 130, 124, 105, 100, 90, 92, 70. That drop off, he has a soft spot right there, but all in all, that's still not bad. But Bronzong can actually be a phenomenal wall paired with Aloe. So he has a lot of grass resists. He has a lot of electric resist and an electric immunity. What's touching this Aloe? Not much. Terra Captain Staraptor is a menace. But holy shit, look at this momentum. This is the first one that is going to get a 5. Because look at all of that baton pass. They can just pivot for free. All of this U-turn, Volt Switch, Flip Turn, Ignore Teleport. That is kind of ridiculous. It could just be like, I'm in front of you, bye, dip, dodge. Imagine a Scarf Aloe clicking baton pass into Jolteon for free health. Think about that. Or now webs are up. Aloe outspeeds certain things because it's base 65. It can just flip turn into Jolteon, baiting the electric move. Now Jolteon's got health. Or just free chip into Bronzong, blocking the water move. Yeah, that is kind of gross. The removal is double defog, which is incredibly good this gen, because it's kind of unblocked. Unless you have Dongo, it's unblocked. Even Clear Amulet does not stop defog from activating. It just stops the stat reduction. Hazard wise, we have 2 rockers. They have T-spikes and they have sticky webs. They don't have spikes, but that still is a generous amount. And priority, we have Fake Out Mienshao, Sucker Punch, Shadow Sneak, Decidueye. We have Aqua Jet, Aloe, and Quick Attack, Staraptor. And Quick Attack, Jolteon. We're gonna give you a fair grade. Alright, that one went pretty well. At the end, I'm going to be shifting these in order onto a slide that is going to be added on to everything after it's done. But with that, we got 5 more teams to go. If it'll load. Bigfoot had a lot of points left. So he originally had Tornadus here instead of Iron Jugulis. So he dropped for that. He dropped Infernape for Electros. So he had a ground immunity. Iron Jugulis gives him a second one. And it was anything else done? No. But look at this. It has double Intimidate on this team, which is incredibly good. Granted, 110 is his highest mon, but booster speed, Iron Jugulis is there. Booster speed, Treads is there. There's no item clauses in League. So that is still pretty good. We still gotta respect that. And his drops are pretty decent. He has a little small patch here with 70s, but a lot of the 70s this gen are bulky, so they're not going to really take advantage of that. But what makes this special is this little guy right here. I did not ban Quick Claw this season, so this guy has a 42% chance to move first every turn if he has an attacking move. Status moves aren't affected, they only get pulled from the 10% of Quick Claw, but attacking moves is a double stack. So this allows him to have another variance of speed control unless they use priority against him. That and Quick Draw works in psychic terrain because it is not a priority move, it just allows you to move first. So that is definitely interesting. But he does also have he has 2 Trick Room setters. He's got the EO for ground immunity. He's got a lot amount of priority. He's got a Cell Rock, Aqua Jet, extreme speed. He's got the slow bro. So that is a pretty decent amount. Momentum wise, he's kind of down in momentum. So we're going to give that one the benefit of doubt. It would have been nice to see a flip turner, but beggars can't be chooser. They decided to shaft Tauros this gen. Rapid Spin is his only removal, but it is a very good removal option because ghost types do not want to actually switch into something with knockoff, Earthquake, and Ironhead. So they're going to be very hesitant, especially since they can outspeed in one shot that goes back, unless it's Annihilate that can actually take the hit. But, oh no, it is a phenomenal team. You have Open Terra Globro, you have Torterra, not bad at all. You have consistent, reliable bulk. The only issue is the hazards is only Stealth Rocks. It is low there. So this, because of the hazards, well, it doesn't need all of the other ones, but just having Stealth Rocks alone is enough. But it's still a rather very decent team. Next, we're at Dark Devil. Sorry, I had to take a moment of silence for the amount of hazards on my screen. Yeah, Dark, you are an immediate 5. Who let you get the top 4? Not only that, but it's they let you get Terracol Mall, which is Omnibus legal, and it's Open Terra. I don't even care that you have an Ablug. That's besides the point. That's decent removal. But look at these speed tiers. You look at these two tiers comboed with webs and tell me what the issue is here. You have 125, 110, 96, 95, 86, 86, 85, 70, 42, and 28. Sticky webs go up, everything is underpacing Metagross. That is ridiculous. Granted, that 70 down does not matter when you have this going up. So speed-wise, this one's also very good. Yeah. But the what problem with this team, sure, it has all this hazards, it has all these tanks, it has all this damage output, but the issue is the momentum is just incredibly bad. It's good momentum between Gliscor and Voltwitz, but the problem is U-turn isn't stab and Voltwitz can be blocked by ground types. So it's going to get points, but not the best of points. But if you take into account the abilities of this team, it's absolutely amazing. He's got water absorb potential for Rotom. He's got water bubble. He's got Mimikyu with Disguise who can set Trick Room for Araquanid, which is ridiculous. He has Toxic Heal Gliscor. He has Toxic Debris Glamora, who takes away the burden of Gliscor having to run T-Spikes. Metagross just doesn't care about Intimidate. Tauros can run Sheer Force and smack over the top of things. It's just ridiculous. But as far as priority, we have Shadow Sneak Mimikyu, we have Vacuum Wave Como, we have Bullet Punch Metagross, and we have Sucker Punch on, I believe, both the Rotom and the Darkrai. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, the momentum and hazard removal kind of really hurt that team, but does not matter when the team is going to absolutely buckle your knees. Jesus, Dark Devil. I am glad I'm not participating. There are 3 teams on this so far that I do not want anything to do with. Next, and I honestly respect them so much for getting the Spoink, because look at this adorable ass logo, and then Spoink's down here chilling. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. I wish Bobo would have participated in Little Cup so we can just flex this logo. But we are going to get into nastiness of this team. Okay. We're going to look at speed tiers first. We got 119, 109, 105, 100, 80, 65. Spoink is 60. When a Spoink is faster than an Enamor is hilarious. Pecharon's 87. I don't know why Pecharon's bugged on here, but he should be up here above Mesprit. But all in all, phenomenally good. Holy shit. And then you factor in booster speed, and chlorophyll. Oh, this is another one of those ones that's gonna get a 5. I'm sorry. Like, look at this. It can fluctuate back and forth between Trick Room. It can reliably switch Pecharon out into Earth Eater, or into Mesprit, or into Enamorus. This is one of those teams that needs a minimum amount of hazards to prosper, and it has good removal. Momentum wise, we've got double U-turn. There's no Volt Switch because there's no electric type. That's kind of a hindrance, but this team does not care. If you're running Terra Electric, there's your electric type. You can run Terra Electric Lilligant and blow over the top of things that would normally resist Triple Axle, which is incredibly good. So it makes it to where you don't have to risk missing. That is phenomenal. And still have the ice coverage and upper hand for mons like Dragonite. Orthworm is just a bulky menace. Granted, it does not get a way to boost speed besides Salicberry. It still just sits there and chews hit. Momentum's kind of lacking, so we're just gonna... Actually, I did not see flip turns, so we're gonna give that... We're gonna be biased with that one, because what does have the momentum excels at having the momentum. Like, you got a special attacker with U-turn that does not care about static. You have Roaring Moon that just duck dip dives out, deals a massive attack boosted U-turn, gets out of danger, goes into the resist, which is Petrarant, and just doesn't care. And Petrarant's also bugged. It does get parting shots. So this one is actually... we are going to be biased with that one. It may not have a lot, but it has quality. Hazards. We're going to give that one a decent. Priority is where this team gets interesting. We have Vacuum Wave, Upper Hand in Lilligant's. We have Aquajet and Walking Lake. I thought more things on this team actually got priority than it did, but that is... it is decent. But it's still a rather good team. I can't wait to see what he does with this. Bulbastorm's one of the newer content creators, one of the smaller channels, but I am curious to see how they perform, especially with a team like this. So I wish them the best of luck. We are on the final two teams. We are on Oscar. Oscar dropped Houndstone and Monferno for Drifloon and Flareon. Did they do any other ones? Nope, that is it. We don't need that. That's it for that. This is an interesting team. You would look at this team and think at least something got Stealth Rocks, but they got Spikes and T-Spikes, so at least gets them some benefit of the doubt. The removal is Drifloon, which is in grassy terrain, so it is reliable. Granted, that is the only removal that is still fine. Granted, that kind of hinders them to bring it, but it is a Terra Captain, so it can come. Terra Iron Crown on this team and in grassy terrain is just ridiculous. You have Grimmsnarl that can set terrains for the team, and Paralyzed Cripple. You have Sneasler, you have Ogerpon. The Ogerpon has priority Grassy Glide now. The only drawback is you have the... what is it? Blood Moon and Manaphy in grassy terrain, which can be both good and bad. It all depends on how it's used. You can still run Rindo Berry and still be fine, but this is going to be interesting. Rillaboom has speed control and grassy glide. Drifloon can bump up to 160 base. Grimmsnarl has speed control and T-Wave. You have Iron Crown that can be booster speed. You have Ogerpon that has grassy glide, and you have the Unburden potential in that. Speed tiers are absolutely pretty good. There's not very many drop-offs, and where they hit don't matter at all. What makes this team interesting is the amount of priority. We have Quad U-Turn, Volt Switch, Quad Baton Pass, and Flip Turn. This does not get Teleport, but all in all, that is still pretty good. Priority-wise, Grassy Glide, Quick Attack, we have Fake Out, we have Sucker Punch, we have Vacuum Wave, and that's it. This is a team with a lot of good priority. Man, is it bad that like the lowest team on here point wise is the one I see performing the best out of everyone, and that's sad? And now I feel bad because I had to be harsh with it. But the last team is Mr. TJP. Okay, so they decided, Steel bundle. Okay. Man immediately pivots into this. He does not get parting shot on Cryogonal. But look at this. Granted, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but damn is it bulky. You got Umbreon and Glow King that is going to be hard to kill. You have Dondozo's fat ass sitting there. You have Jirachi's fat ass sitting there. Zarude's fat ass sitting there. This is going to be one of those, you gotta play the long game if you want to win type of matchups versus him. Because Dondozo, unaware, stops things. His speed is not the best, but it makes up for it. His removal is a Cryogonal, which is, it's decent, but not the best because of its lack of defense. But TJP also has a very minimal hazards. Oh my. Okay, this is one of those gonna be low scoring, but this is going to body bag people because it's got limited resources, but it's not going to matter. Priority. Does Umbreon get Sucker Punches, Jen? I know Cryogonal gets Ice Shard. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say maybe it has priority? Momentum is where this gets interesting. You have Chili Reception, you have Triple U-Turn, you have no Volt Switch, and you got 2 Baton Pass. Dondozo would be an even worse menace this gen if it got the access to Flip Turn. Oh my, I did not think I would score this one that way. But this got rather interesting real quick. I love how the 2 lowest scores of this power ranking are the fattest things here that are going to be a handful to deal with. They just don't care. And it's, these points don't actually matter because all of you are phenomenal coaches. But when I cut to, it's going to be all of these in order. It'll take me a second to make it. But hopefully you take these with a grain of salt and don't take the criticism too lightly. I did honestly believe that every team was good. Like, phenomenal. But this had to be, like, evaluated on a point scale. Because if I did letter grades, it would be so much harder because a lot of these teams are close. So, alright. As we look at these, this was just based off of the 5 categories, which averaged out 2 points. Some of the lower teams actually are the incredibly fat teams that needed minimal, like, hazards and priority, so it kind of docked them down. For example, Sorrow and Mr. TJP are one of the harder teams to actually deal with, but the only difference of why they're not up there like it with Dark Devil is they lacked hazards. That is the only thing holding them back. Hazards and a tiny bit of momentum. That's it. Every team here is a solid team. If you notice, some of the higher scored ones are all of the weather teams or the priority abusive teams with a bunch of hazard and status cripple. But the middle of the pack team, you notice it goes from, like, there's 3 17s, a whole bunch of 16s, and then a 15. All of these teams were just right there, but needed the tiniest bit. But these points do not define the skill level of the coach. They do not define the team at all. This was just based off of priority, hazards, momentum, removal, and speed tiers. There are no bad teams. So, whether you disagree with the points or you like where you are at, you are welcome to talk to me about it or bring it up. I try to be as fair as possible. And then with the ones that were tied with points, I had to shift you guys around based off of what overall the potential of the teams can do. That's why Dark Devil outbeat all of the other 16s. That's why Zack Manor beat out the 17s. And that's why the Sun team of Bulbastorm outbeat the other 18s. Because you have Sun, Rain, and you have Hyper Offense. Sun and Rain are going to have more consistency than what Destroyer has. So it's going to be an interesting season. I wish the best of you luck. And I look forward to seeing all of your content. Again, don't take this too harshly. This is just me going off of what I have in front of me, being as fair as possible. I'm sorry to Sorrow and Mr. TJP for being so low, but it really hurt you, hazards, and everything else. And TJP's case, I had to question if he even had priority. So he almost got 0 points for that. But anyways, enjoy the video, like and subscribe if you haven't, and enjoy.